What do Scottish women, rooftop golf courses, fairy tale castles, and glowing monsters all have in common? Believe it or not, they're all part of the story of miniature golf. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. This week, we're exploring the quirky history behind one of America's favorite summer traditions, miniature golf. And honestly, I had never really thought about where mini golf started until earlier this summer. We were playing mini golf on the oldest continuously operating miniature golf course in America, that just so happens to be located outside of Rochester, New York. So that's the Whispering Pines Mini Golf in Irondequoit, New York, and it's been open since 1930, and it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And on the afternoon we played there, of course I lost. I always lose. But I really was, during that time thinking about something else. I was thinking about being a kid and playing mini golf at the beach in the summer and just the fun of, the windmill and the loop and the little tiny pencil for keeping score, it's been consistent my whole life. And then, there's that part of watching my daughter grow up, playing it and taking it just as seriously as I had. Um, but, you know, it made me wonder, where where did mini golf come from? Like, who invented it? Um, and, how can a putter and a windmill make me feel like I was 8 again? So, I did what I do, and, I went down a rabbit hole looking for answers, and boy, this was not what I was expecting. So, let's check it out together. I hope you really enjoyed this sort of origin story here for, what we probably don't get real deep in thinking with mini golf. So, um, here's the thing that really surprised me. It wasn't invented to be cute. It wasn't invented for families or for the beach or boardwalks. It was invented because women were not allowed to play real golf. Yeah. So in the 1860s, golf was considered far too strenuous for women. A full swing was deemed unladylike. So in 1867, a group of women at the St. Andrew's Golf Club in Scotland, which, as we know, one of the most famous golf courses in the world, um, they decided they had had enough. So they created their own putting course. No full swings required, just the green, a hole, and a putter. They called it the Ladies Putting Club of St. Andrews, and apparently it still exists today. And it's widely considered one of the birthplaces of mini golf. So think about that for a moment. The game that generations of families have played on summer vacation, it started as a quiet act of rebellion by Scottish women who just wanted to play. And I find that deeply satisfying because, I am a true believer of those micro rebellions to do what brings you joy. Um, so mini golf did cross the Atlantic and it found its home in America. And when it arrived, we do what we do in America and it went wild. So around 1917, a man named James Barber built a putting course on his estate in Pinehurst, North Carolina. He called it This'll Do. which is Scottish apparently for this'll do. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I find this information and I fact checked it as much as possible, but this one just sounds crazy to me. But it's considered the first dedicated mini golf course in the US, and Barber wanted something his guest could enjoy without like the full commitment of a full round of golf. It was social, it was fun, and it turned out everyone wanted one. But the person who really launched miniature golf into the mainstream here in America was a man named Garnet Carter. And in 1926, Carter and his wife built a putting course on Lookout Mountain in Tennessee as an amenity for their hotel guests. Frieda loved fairy tales, so the course was designed with gnomes, castles, hollowed out logs, and whimsical obstacles that look like they belonged in a storybook. Carter patented the design and franchised it as Tom Thumb Golf, and then something unexpected happened. The whole country went absolutely crazy for it. By the late 1920s, New York City, yes, New York City had over 150 rooftop mini golf courses. Well-dressed New Yorkers in tuxedos and evening gowns would stop by after the opera or theater for drinks and a round of putting. Some courses stayed open until 4 in the morning, and movie stars like Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford opened their own courses. I love this thought of mini golf courses on rooftops in New York City. Um, it's one of those, it's sort of like my Roman Empire now. I just imagine going to the opera and then being like, you want to grab a drink and, play some mini golf. I love it so much. Um, but by the 1930s, get this, there were an estimated tens of thousands of mini golf courses across America. So this game invented by Scottish women who wanted to putt had become a national obsession in this country in less than a decade. And then the Great Depression hit, and almost all of it disappeared. The rooftop courses closed, the Tom Thumb franchises shuttered, the tuxedo crowd stopped putting and started worrying about more pressing things. And by the mid 1930s, the mini golf boom had really collapsed almost as fast as it had arrived. 25,000 courses reduced to almost nothing. Almost. Because here's what happened in the places that survived. When you can't afford new equipment, you get creative. And courses that stayed open built homemade obstacles from inexpensive materials. And this really gave a lot of these surviving courses charms of their own. Like they became their own identity. And Whispering Pines, well, they survived all of it. They opened in 1930, right at the peak of the boom, and they just kept going. They went through the Depression, through World War II, through every decade that followed. The course today looks apparently remarkably similar to what it looked when it opened. It has this beautiful shaded layout. It has fun obstacles. It's just a very joyful course, I have to say. So after World War II, Americans were ready for fun again. We've seen this with roadside attractions and other things like in amusement parks. Like families were growing, suburbs were expanding, and people wanted affordable entertainment close to home. And miniature golf was perfectly positioned for exactly that. A businessman named Don Clayton saw the opportunity in 1954 when he opened the first putt-putt golf course in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It was clean, well lit, family friendly, consistent experience. He franchised it really using the same models as McDonald's and Holiday Inn. You knew exactly what you were going to get no matter where it was located. And putt-putt spread across the country through the 60s and 70s and became the template for what most of us think of when we think of mini golf. The tidy greens, the numbered holes, the scorecard, the rental putters, consistent, accessible, and just what we know. But miniature golf has never stopped evolving. In the 1980s and 90s, it brought elaborate themed courses. And you've seen these, and you love these. The pirate ships, the dinosaurs, castle ruins, tropical waterfalls. It was adventure golf, safari golf. These courses were built around fictional worlds that made you feel like you were inside the story rather than just playing a game. And right, and that was the beauty of it, right? Just sort of that escapism for a bit. And then someone turned off the lights. And I mean that literally. Here came blacklight miniature golf. Those glow in the dark courses with neon obstacles and UV reactive paint, they started popping up. Slightly psychedelic, genuinely fun at any age, and suddenly it was available year round regardless of weather. Now, this brings me to our 4th of July this year when we were in a major heat wave. We ended up at one of these monster mini golf courses that weekend, and it's a chain. It's air conditioned, which was what we were looking for, and it was really fun. It was a course, and it wound through this maze of glowing obstacles. Um, it was fun. It was definitely different in pretty much every way. The kind of obstacles there were, and the black light, and the fun, and the painting, and the music, and Whispering Pines was very, quiet and peaceful, but both a lot of fun. Like, same game, different experience, still fun. Um, and I was the person who started thinking, why don't we have more indoor mini golf? Well, I've done some looking, and there's a lot more than I thought. So I am all for the indoor mini golf, and if I ever I don't think I'd tell anyone I won the lottery, but if I all of a sudden open like a cryptid or Yeti themed indoor mini golf, you'll know what happened. So why does mini golf make us feel like a certain way? I think it's because it exists outside of normal time. Like, it's not competitive in a way that, brings out that ultra competitive spirit in a person. I don't feel like it has that Monopoly vibe of, flipping a board. Um, it's not really skill based in a way that makes you feel inadequate. It's sort of fun, and you laugh if you don't do great. And almost anyone can play it. Like, a 5-year-old can play, and an 80-year-old can have the same experience on the same course. It's screen free. There's no algorithm deciding what you're going to see next. It's just you, a putter, a ball, and that little tiny pencil. Like, that has not changed. And the windmill that, may or may not cooperate with you. And I I think that's what's cool. Some things just persist because they're worth persisting, and mini golf is one of them, and it'll be fun to see where it goes next, right? So, when did you last play mini golf? Like, maybe it's time to find a local course, an outdoor, a black light, indoor, maybe an elaborate themed one. Whatever version calls for you, the windmill is out there waiting for you. And I I think you should just go out and have fun. It's near the end of summer. I think fall is a great time because the weather's a little better for outdoor. Maybe this winter hit an indoor one. But like I said, get out there, grab that grab that putter, pick whatever color ball you want for that game, and go for it. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope this episode inspires you to get out and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really does help the show to grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.